It happens to everyone. Waiting in line for your morning coffee, you scroll social media and news on your phone. What you find depresses you. Thousands of migrants are fleeing a civil war, risking their lives only to be turned back at borders. Speculations have sent the housing markets into a frenzy, and employment numbers are tumbling down. Journalists have uncovered a decades-long cover-up of child abuse by coaches and doctors within competitive gymnastics in your country. Closing the news app, you open your family group chat. Maybe one of your siblings has posted something funny, and at this rate, you could use some cheering up. The group chat has blown up overnight, and what you see makes your heart sink. Bushfires are raging again, and there's one burning only 2 suburbs over from where your cousins live. Everyone is frantic with worry. At this point, you walk away, coffee in hand, tense, miserable, and confused. You think, this can't go on. Something needs to be done. Someone needs to step up. We need a plan to fix all this social injustice, economic chaos, and environmental destruction. This is where the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, come in. Fixing the kinds of problems that bring your entire day down in the morning coffee line can't happen in just one way. The SDGs cover sustainability from different angles: socially, economically, and environmentally. They set global goals for the 3 Ps: people, planet, and prosperity. The SDGs form the heart of the 2030 Agenda, an action plan adopted by all 193 countries of the United Nations. They call for decent jobs, quality education, good health, gender and income equality, clean energy and water, biodiversity, and climate action. They aim to reach sustainable development by 2030. Governments play a key role in achieving these goals, but they're not the only players. Businesses, civil society, Indigenous leaders, academia, and the general public all contribute as well. You might wonder where they came from. The SDGs were born in 2012 at the Rio+20, a UN conference on sustainable development in Rio de Janeiro, which was the largest conference ever held by the UN. Until 2012, there were different international agreements that dealt with environmental challenges such as climate change and biodiversity loss. And there were the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, that aimed to achieve certain social targets in developing countries by the year 2015. The countries meeting at Rio+20 decided that a more comprehensive set of universal goals was needed to tackle the urgent social, economic, and environmental challenges facing the world. This kicked off the broadest consultation ever run by the UN. An unprecedented effort was made to get input from as many people as possible, particularly those who don't often get a say in international agreements. Over 10 million people around the world participated in the consultations and helped shape the SDGs. Apart from national governments, major stakeholder groups that were consulted included women, children and youth, Indigenous peoples, NGOs, local authorities, workers and trade unions, business and industry, scientific and technological community, and farmers. I am pleased to share some good news for people and planet, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said to a packed room of press delegates. The good news? After 3 years of negotiations and debate, 193 countries had agreed to a set of development goals more bold and ambitious than anything that has come before them: the SDGs. The due date for the SDGs is the year 2030, which makes the 2020s the decade to deliver. But how can we know if progress on any of these monumental issues has been made? The 17 SDGs are built on an evidence-based framework of 169 quantitative targets and 232 indicators that accompany them. This ensures that the SDGs are clear, concise, time-bound, and measurable, which helps governments and decision-makers to include the SDGs in their planning. This means that we can keep track on each of the SDGs' progress. To achieve the SDGs, all countries are expected to set up policies and investment plans, and to use the targets and indicators to track their progress. They then report their progress to the UN. This is done through voluntary national reviews, VNRs, with a selection of countries reporting each year. Most countries, including Australia, have already submitted their first VNR. Governments are crucial in achieving the SDGs because they create and finance policies that support the goals. But all stakeholders have an important role to play. Industries and businesses in finding solutions for goods and services that align with the SDGs, and communities and individuals in supporting SDG initiatives and in holding governments and the private sector to account. Education, research, and innovation are all essential to achieve the SDGs, so universities, with their ability to create and disseminate knowledge and solutions, play an absolutely vital role. You can probably already tell that reaching the SDGs will be no small feat. All responses, from the global to the national to the local, even down to the individual, need to be coherent and aligned. But progress to date has been slow, so that it becomes very clear now that a much deeper, faster, and more ambitious response is needed from governments, businesses, and communities. Many experts say that in order to achieve the SDGs, we need societal transformations now that are unprecedented in human history and which represent a profound departure from business as usual. You may feel like the challenges are too big and too many. After all, you're just one person. But think about it this way. Every time you spend money, you have an opportunity to spend your money better. Every time you talk to someone, you have an opportunity to challenge their ideas for the better. You can seize these opportunities every day, 365 days a year. And of course, every couple of years, you have the opportunity to vote for the better. Not just in national elections, but in local ones too. That is an immense potential that lies with you and every other individual. The SDGs give us a roadmap for making the right choices and arriving at the right answers. Don't forget, together, we are 7.8 billion people. Together, we can make big changes happen.
Exactly. That was an overview of the SDGs. Welcome to Teaching Tuesday. I'm one of your hosts, Lady B. Bless. I am an advocate for the SDGs as well as a consultant for the SDGs. When I first learned about the SDGs, it sparked in me the reality that we could have a better world if we implement these goals. So I want to take Tuesdays to teach and support and help people align their daily lives, their businesses, or their projects with the SDGs. I'm also the executive director of the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation, and we advocate for 6 of the goals, which is no poverty, health and wellness, which is number 3, education, gender equality, health, water and sanitation, as well as 17 partnership for the goal. And we try our very best to put these goals into practice in our daily lives, as well as teach other people how to implement these goals. This is our first Teaching Tuesday, so I want you guys to bear with us and excuse the technical glitches. As you know, it's technology, and we definitely have to deal with it. I'm going to bring on my other educator, T. Thompson, Lady T. Thompson. She's also an advocate and ambassador for the goals. So I'm going to go ahead and bring her on, and I'll have her introduce herself just as I have introduced myself, and we could start the discussion on the SDGs. Lady T. Thompson, how are you today?
Greetings. I am excited, and I'm excited because we're teaching today on Thursday. And we're teaching about the Sustainable Development Goals so that we can inspire, educate, and mobilize people.
Yes.
Yes, I'm Lady T. Thompson. I am the founder and the executive director of Agribiz. Yes, Agribiz, AGROBIZ.org. And we have been a lifeline during the lockdown for people by creating food hubs and cooperatives. So as an official Global Goals Ambassador, we are here today, Lady Me and I, to introduce what we'll be doing every Thursday. So thank you, ladies, for having me.
Basically every other Thursday. We're not going to be here next Thursday because we're traveling. We're busy women, so we have 2 weeks that we're going to travel. So this is just an intro. Now we'll be back in April after all that little traveling. You know, it's Women's Month, so women travel in March, right?
Yes. Choose to challenge.
Choose to challenge, which is our women's mantra for this month. Take the time. I introduced myself. I told a little about myself. So take this time to tell our audience and you guys that's listening on my YouTube channel, and we're also broadcasting on the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation Facebook, as well as my Facebook. You guys, if you leave your questions or any comments in the comment section on those pages, we will see it here in the studio. So you have the opportunity as we go along to ask questions, or if you want to know anything about us, feel free pertaining to the SDGs. Do not text me. It will not work. Leave it in the comment box. All right, go ahead, Lady T. Thompson.
So, as you so eloquently introduced me, yes, I am an official Global Goals Ambassador for the United Nations Associations. The United Nations has a lot of different agencies. And so, one of the goals that I highlight in that role as part of my duty is decent work and economic growth. But as an organization with Agribiz, I advocate for all 17 of them. And I like to say I was an advocator on the architect of the global sustainable global goals before they were the SDGs, meaning that the sustainable development goals kind of was a byproduct of the Millennium development goals, which were 8 goals that came before the sustainable development goals. And with that, I've mentored literally, I would say, about 100,000 women and youth in terms of entrepreneurship and education and helping to empower people to be what they cannot see. So that's the summation of who I am, Lady B. You know, I try to stay humble about my accomplishments because it's not about me, it's about other stakeholders like you. And I want to also say I'm always proud, and I do mean proud, to talk about Lady B Blessed. And the reason being is she said it. She went to United Nations, I want to say it was the 62nd session of the Commission on the Status of Women. She went there, she sat in on some of the parallel events and activities, and she started to act. She truly is the epitome of being not just a local leader, but being a stakeholder for the goals. Because guess what? Each and every one of us are a custodian. We are a participant. We are a community leader. We are actively engaged in the sustainable development goals, whether we know it or not. So, yeah, I'm so proud of you, Lady B.
Oh, thank you so much. It's all about implementing, not only talking. We have to be doers and change makers. So I strongly believe, why I do love to talk, I believe in action more than talking. So I always big up T. Thompson for her actions that she takes towards projects. You know, not only sit and talk like, oh, we're gonna get this done or whatever the case may be. She's an action go-getter. One time she was at a farm and I saw her climbing a ladder to go on a roof, and I said to myself, whole lot could go wrong. But she did it. A whole lot. I don't know. She was on this ladder.
Yes.
And she was going to the top. And I was like, wow, okay, she's braver than me. I don't like heights. And I'm sure enough cannot climb a ladder, I'm sure. But that is what we call go-getters, change makers, and policy makers. You understand? No one is going to put you at the table if you are not ready to be at the table. And people could tell talkers. They could tell the ones that just talk and they don't do anything. So you don't want to be a talker. As Lady T. Thompson said, you want to be a doer, and I tend to be a doer. I love action more than words. And this is why.
Can I just interject and say, you're one of the people that
course.
I love. And I love because you go from do to doing to done. And that's what it takes. And with the sustainable development goals, we have to share more, plan more, and do more. That's one of our internal mantras with Agribiz. And so I am so excited today because we can introduce the sustainable development goals. We can teach people over the course of the rest of the year when we do these sessions on Thursdays, why they too can get actively engaged. So thank you so much, Lady B, for doing this. I'm so humbled.
Oh, thank you. No, thank you for taking the time. We're busy people, but to take the time to teach others, it's a blessing. And other people don't realize that our time is our greatest commodity. So when someone gives you your time, you have to really appreciate it, because you could get money. You could get it back, you could lose it. But time, you never get it back. We're never going to give back the minute we just spent explaining this. So once you start realizing that time is a very important commodity, you use it wisely. So thank you so much for being here so we could explain the Sustainable Development Goals. And like we said, this week, we're just going to do a little overview of it. And what we're going to try to do is every session take a goal at a time. break down the goals, the overview, the COVID response to the goals, the target of the goals, the facts and figures of the goals, and the progress of the goals. So this is what we're going to do so everyone can have an in-depth understanding of each of the goals. And if you're very interested in having a better world, at least by 2030, this is definitely the place to be on Thursday once we come back from our travels in April. So, as the video pointed out, the Sustainable Development Goals or Global Goals that they're called are a collection of 17 goals designed as a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future for all. For all. It's not about South America. It's not about the US. It's not about Africa or Asia or any. It's about everyone. These goals were designed for everyone, so no one is left behind. Okay, so we all want to have a better future. The SDGs were set in motion in 2015, but as Lady T. Thompson pointed out, they started this process years before that with the Millennium Goals. So they were intended to be achieved by 2030. Yes, they were established in 2015, and the mission is a blueprint to achieve a better and more sustainable future by 2030. And these goals were founded by the United Nations. Over to you, T. Thompson.
I just want to go and unpack a little bit because, you know, these are some words that a lot of people don't know. We talk about
unpack, baby girl, goals, unpack.
Global goals, the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals, the SDGs are all the same thing. Sustainable Development Goals, SDGs, 2030, the 2030 Sustainable Development Goals agenda, as well as global goals. They're the same thing, because I've had people to say, like, wait a minute, what's all these acronyms? What's the GGA? What's the SDG? What's the agenda? I'm like, it's all the same thing. So right. Yes, Lady B, you talked about it. And what I'm so excited about the development of the architect of the SDGs is this. There are 5 underpinning aspects that are interdependent of each other. And the 5 are the people, the well-being of all people, not some people, not most people, not a few people, but all people. And then the second is the planet and the protection of Earth's ecosystems. They're essential for everyone, because, you know, there is no planet B. And then the third is prosperity, continued economic and technological growth. Okay, I couldn't get that out. Technological growth, right? Because
sound it out
and expand. And then peace, securing peace, because peace impacts all of us. And it's not something that's in one part of the world or on one continent. It impacts us all. But last, but definitely not least, is partnerships. Yes. Improving international cooperation. As you know, I love to say constructive collaborations. And so these 5 things are the SDGs demand integral thinking as well as integral approaches to achieving the goals. And so that's what the SDGs are about in my snapshot of those 5 things. People, the planet, prosperity, peace, and partnerships.
Yay. And this is like what we're doing right now. This is a partnership. So we get together to spread the goals, implement the goals, and support the goals. I'm going to go ahead and put the goals on the screen so you guys can see them. And I'm just going to briefly go through the list of the goals. As you see, this is developed by United Nations. There's 17 goals. Can you see, T. Thompson?
Yes, darling. I see all
wonderful.
17 of the goals.
Yes. So the 17 goals are no poverty, zero hunger, good health and well-being, quality education, gender equality, clean water and sanitation, affordable and clean energy. What else, T. Thompson?
Oh, so 7 is...
No, you're number 8.
Oh, 8.
It's your goal.
Decent work in economic growth. Listen.
That's your goal. That's
T. Thompson. Goal. And let me say this. I'm like, wait a minute, don't have my glasses. Like, so
Oh, okay, I got you.
that's what I was like, what? So let me say that trade contributes significantly to delivering all of the sustainable development goals, because without income and economic growth, it impacts poverty, which causes hunger, and it impacts every last one of the sustainable development goals. So that's my two cents on SDG 8, decent work and economic development.
All right, go ahead and do the rest. Or you need
No,
your glasses?
no, you
Okay,
finish
gotcha.
doing them. And when you're finished, what I'll do is I'll go back and I'll break down each of them from the people, the planet, prosperity when you're done
Okay,
as a section.
wonderful.
Yeah,
Okay, so decent
teamwork.
work and economic growth, because T. Thompson is an ambassador for that goal. So definitely, I'm very proud of the work that she's doing on the decent work and economical growth. So number 9, industry, innovation, and infrastructure. 10, reducing inequality. 11, sustainable cities and communities. Number 12, responsible consumption and production. 13, climate action. This is a big, huge one. Everyone is talking about climate change, climate this and climate that. So that's a big one. Number 14, which normally we don't think about, life below the water. The ecosystem and the water is suffering from plastic, debris, garbage, and everything. So that's what they mean, life below the water. Life on land, of course. 16 is peace, justice, and strong institution. And of course, 17 is partnership for the goals.
Yes,
Okay?
yes. Great job. If
So
you can keep that slide up, Lady B,
I will most definitely.
just to give a focal element to what we mean when we talk about the 5 elements that come from the 17 different goals. The first 6, 1 through 6, the focal area is on the people to end poverty and hunger in all its forms and dimensions, to ensure that all human beings, not some human beings, not a few human beings, that all human beings can feel their full potential. And then 7 through 11, they are focused on prosperity to ensure that all human beings can enjoy prosperously and fulfill lives that are economically, socially, and technologically secure. So that's that focal area. 7 through 11 is on prosperity. And then 12 through 15 are on the planet to protect the planet from degradation, including to protect from degradation and sustainable consumption and production, because it impacts each and every one of us. And then the fourth is peace. The focus on peace to foster peaceful, just, inclusive societies, and free from fear and violence and conflict. And then last but definitely not least, partnerships for the goals to mobilize everyone on the planet so that they can implement the agenda. So those are the focal areas. When you look at all 17 and break it down from people to the planet, to prosperity, to peace, and partnerships. Those are the focal areas.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for that. Do you need the slide anymore?
No, we're done.
All
Great
right, so
job.
we're done with that. Thank you. Big up StreamYard. Gotta shout them out. But definitely, now tell me personally, I know I have my personal feelings on some of the goals. And I take some of them very personal to heart. Like, oh my God, I love this goal. I want to advocate. If I could just pick a goal, I have certain goals that I would just pick and just push for them. What are your favorites? What personally is your favorite goal?
I know this is going to sound cliche, but really they all are. And I say that because as a person who chooses to challenge systems that impact the potential of women and youth, you need them all. They're
Yes.
intersectionally. Now, yes, I advocate for SDG 8. And yeah, that is very important because when I look at it from my perspective, I was a marginalized community. I come from a marginalized community back in the old days, many, many moons ago. They described it as at risk. I was an at risk person. I was an at risk student. I was at risk, for all of
Wow.
these different things. And so there's a commonality for me in terms of understanding how marginalized individuals, biopic, and people who have limited access to healthcare, limited access to education, limited access to clothing, shelter, food, and water ultimately are impacted by poverty, which causes hunger. And so when I think about, I know what it's like to go hungry. I know what it's like
Yeah.
to not have anything, coming from Detroit, Michigan. So when I think about the hungry piece, it's like people, when they're hungry, they don't see right or wrong. They just see food. And so they do what they have to do. So when you give people the opportunity to make a living wage, it reduces crime, it brings dignity, and it impacts the entire community economically, mentally, spiritually, nutritiously. So for me, when I think about the SDGs, all of them, and yeah, most people think that it's just singularly A, but no, it's all of them. It's
It's
all
all
of
of
them.
them.
Yeah, it really is.
And because they're all intertwined, and that's one thing I love about the SDGs. You can't get no poverty without dealing with no hunger, and you can't get no hunger, no poverty without dealing with health. You see, so they all intertwine. I'm a well, I picked and choose. I have my favorite. Like my favorite is number five. It is. I'm not gonna lie. I have my favorite. My favorite is gender equality, women empowerment, and girl child development. I'm an advocate for that. So I go strong for goal number five. And also goal number six, which is clean health, clean water and sanitation. Six irritates me because the fact that water is free on this earth, and that the earth is like 70-80% water, that there's some people like dying because of lack of water is very irritating. So I'm like, I push for clean water and sanitation very, very, very hard. But you don't have to pick, you don't have to choose. You could go for all of them, you could pick like four, five, six, just as long as you are implementing the goals,
That's
right?
right. That's right. Doing more, sharing more, and planning more, sharing more, and doing more. Those are so important. But I want to go back and just echo a little bit about gender equality, because oftentimes people think, why is gender equality on there? Because guess what? Gender is not equity. It's not equity in a lot of aspects of our lives. And so when we look at the cycles of how decisions are made, who's sitting at the peace table, who are making
Yes,
managerial
yes,
decisions that impact us all, guess what? Oftentimes, a lot of women are not at the table. And in lieu of Women's History Month, my theme of the month in every platform that I have had a speaking opportunity is to tell women and young girls and youth, you do not need permission to sit at the table and to be a leader. You do not need permission to do that. Everyone has the capacity to be a leader. And so that's
yes,
why these SDGs are critical to changing
yes,
the landscape for everyone. Everyone.
yes,
And so
yes.
that's my soapbox for the moment.
Yes. Gender equality, but it's like some people will say women belong in the kitchen or they only belong in the other room. My dear, women belong in any room that decisions are being made.
Yeah,
Any
but
room that
not only
decisions
that,
are being made.
the pandemic has impacted the future of females, meaning that
Yes.
you have over 12 million girls as a result of the pandemic who was forced into marriage before they were 18. You have another like 16 million
Yes.
girls who may not ever
So
return to
true.
school. So when you look at the landscape, and domestic violence has increased, some statistics say 3 times. I read a statistic the other day that said it's increased 5 times because you have this pocket that's not reported. So they all impact women and girls. So equality is a real conversation for women and girls, or the female child or the girl child. I love it when you say the girl child, Lady B. Can you say the girl child
Yes.
for me?
the girl
Yes, I
child
love it.
development.
Yes, darling. Yes.
I believe in developing the girl child because girl child education is important because they become educated women who and then make educated decisions and then raise educated girls. So it's a cycle. It is a cycle. It's definitely a cycle. Not forgetting the men, and we will not forget the men because we also need them. So the men come in
Yes.
and reduce inequality. That would be like 10 because we want to
Well,
reduce inequality all across the board. You understand?
yes.
So
Yes. And
guys, we're not
all
leaving
of them.
you out.
No, yeah, and all of them are our allies, and even other people who consider themselves non-binary or
Yeah.
their new initials. So the
Every day there's a new
LBQTI
initial and I
plus
can't keep up.
communities. Everyone is an ally for the Sustainable Development Goals, and so that's why I love to say for all, not some, not a
Yes.
few. You can't cherry
Yes.
pick different communities or populations. It's for all, and it's
Yes.
like it's almost synonymous for me like human rights. These are inevitable things for us all.
Definitely. It's for everyone. And every race, every color, every sexuality. These goals are made for, and that's why I made the point that it's for everyone. It's not just, oh, it's for Africans, oh, it's for
No.
Europeans, no, it's for everyone. So we all have the opportunity to implement and make it a better world by 2030. And one thing about the SDG, it gives everyone a fair chance.
Oh my gosh. Yes.
It gives everyone a fair chance. So you can't say, oh, they forgot about me. No, it gives everyone a fair chance.
Yes.
We're going to go over the targets. Like, this is just the intro, yeah?
Yes.
Each goal has a target that they want to reach by 2030. Each goal has facts and figures, and they update these facts and figures every year. The 2020 updates came out a couple months ago. And then by the General Assembly, they're going to update for the 2021 updates and the progress that was made. These reports are available. So if someone is really interested in implementing a goal, it's just as easy as typing SDG in your browser. It's same as typing United Sustainable Development Goals. Even global goals, you'll see it. Even if you type Lady T. Thompson, global goals will come up. You see? Because when you make your voice, you put your voice to a mission, the algorithm picks it up. So anything you want to know, you just type it in and it comes up. So a lot of people don't have that ability. So that's why we are here. We are here. So don't worry. Every week will come. Like I say, in April after our travels, we teach classes on the goals. We talk about the goals. We have groups on the goals. Everything. We want to end poverty. We want to reduce equality. We want to get fresh water, clean water, and sanitation. And we want to tackle climate change. We want to preserve the oceans. We want to preserve the forests because this is, like you said, what do you say? There's no what? Planet what?
There's no planet B. You cannot eat coal and you can't drink gas. You cannot. Those are things that we just cannot do. And so for the goals to be reached, everyone needs to do their part. Government, private sector, civil society, and each and every one of you, everyone that hears our voice.
Yes, most definitely. I even forgot to put on my little global goal little pin today I normally wear that I got from the United Nations. But that's okay. We're going to have, as we go along.
I don't have one.
Yeah. As we go along, we'll have, a lot more for you guys to see, a lot more visuals. We're going to try to make this a really good class for people. And, so you'll get the information that you need and we'll be able to provide it for you. Okay, let me take a break and then we'll be right back in about a couple of minutes. We'll be right back. All right, hold still.
The Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation is a USA IRS registered 501c3 public charity. Our mission is to actively and effectively engage in promoting human and social welfare with no prejudice against human suffering on the grounds of gender, sexual orientation, religious, or national divisions. Our main goal is to save lives, relieve suffering, and maintain human dignity. Donate now to support our work. PayPal.me/TLBBH Foundation or cash.app/$TLBBH Foundation. Come join Women Wednesdays with Lady Be Bless, an empowering podcast spotlighting women in leadership. A weekly look at some amazing women leaders, mentors, role models, change makers, community advocates, presidents, CEOs, executive directors, and boss ladies. These women are women that lead. Every Wednesday, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, streaming live, facebook.com/Lady Be Bless, youtube.com/Lady Be Bless. Let us help you win in business. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses get online with business class website builders, managed WordPress platforms, domain name registration, web hosting, hosted email, e-commerce, and online stored solutions. Our 24/7, 365 support is always available at mxztdigital.com. MXZT Digital Tech Solutions. We help small businesses. Ladies and gentlemen, it's now time in the most important hour of hip-hop for the Ike Jackson Report podcast. Available Sundays weekly and the Ike Jackson Report podcast daily. Available weekdays for engaging, serious hip-hop political commentary. Available now on Anchor FM, Spotify, iTunes, and Amazon. Engage. Stream serious conversation. Stream the Ike Jackson Report podcast now. Ike Jackson presents the Re-Up series. Re-Up, Re-Up 2, a prequel, and Re-Up 3, The Promised. Follow the incredible adventures of Simone, a single mother assassin trying to get out of the killing game. Will her daughter's life be enough to cash out? Download the Re-Up series novels, audiobooks, and screenplays now at barnesandnoble.com, walmart.com, and digital outlets everywhere.
Hello, hello, hello. Thank you and welcome back again. Thank you for the commercial break. If anyone wants to advertise on the Lady Be Blessed Conversation Series podcast, just email me at ladybeblessed@gmail.com and you'll be able, I'll send you my advertising rates and you'll be able to advertise on my weekly shows. Once again, we're here with Miss Lady T. Thompson and we're talking about the Sustainable Development Goals. So we are about to wrap it up. Yes, loud and clear.
I can't hear you.
You can't hear me? Check it out. Check it out.
Lady B, I can't hear you.
Check. Check your mic. I'm good on this end. And I'm hearing you well. Mic check. 1 2. 1 2 1 2 1 2.
Okay.
3 4 5.
Me? Yes, no.
Yeah,
okay.
I hear you.
Well, I'm back, but I can't hear you. Technology, the technological glitches.
Glitch.
I'm on Zoom and I can't hear my co-host. It just went blank. Everyone in the house knows I can't hear you, Lady B.
I guess so.
Oh my gosh.
What am I going to do?
Not one word, but
not one word.
Let's go over those targets, Lady B. I'll sit here and nod my head when you go over those targets.
We're not doing
those. I know you're going to go over them. Back to you. Turn it back to you, Lady B.
Turn it back. No, back to you. It's your turn. Take it away.
I don't know what she's saying. But okay. What in the world happened to the sound?
Anyway, people.
I think this is going to be the funniest episode ever. Like, Lady B, you remember 5 years ago we were doing a podcast and I couldn't hear you, but you could hear me?
Yes, exactly.
So let's continue to inspire and
We're
mobilize
going to
people.
educate people and inspire people and what we really need to do about it. Let me see. Someone said a comment. Oh, he's laughing at us. Look at that. They're laughing at us. They're having jokes. T, fix your mic. Fix your headphones.
Oh, I did something that said fix audio. I'm back.
So are you good?
I think I screamed so loud that it went a couple octaves up.
It's like we don't have time for this voice.
Thank you. Whoever said they can hear
Someone
both
said
of
I
us.
can hear both of you. Yeah, but she couldn't hear me, and that led for interesting conversation and dialogue. All right, I wasn't doing the targets. There's no targets. You're like, keep doing targets. I'm like, what target is she talking about? Listen, poverty is the first sustainable development goals, and there'll be the first goal that we're going to start with when we come back. So we're going to discuss no poverty, and as we know, when you look at the goals, that's the number one. They started with no poverty. You know, it's a big problem. Poverty leads to a lot of things. It leads to hunger, poor health, bad education, gender equality, clean, dirty water, everything. Poverty leads to a lot of things. As T is a farmer, she knows about food security and food insecurities around the world. A hungry person is not a nice person. A hungry person is my grandmother used to say a hungry man is an angry man.
They get hangry.
Angry, upset.
Hangry. Yes.
It leads to crime. It leads to violence. It leads to another thing where you're not feeding yourself. So one thing my grandmother used to always instill with us is always feed a person. She said, when you see someone that's hungry, even if you don't have, try to feed them, give them something, because you never know where that hunger is going to lead.
Let me put it in perspective in terms of why I'm so excited about what we'll be teaching on and how this all is intersectional. The World Food Program just in 2021 will feed approximately 138 million people. And some of these meals are the only safe meal that they'll be having for the day. And so this organization, it won the Nobel Peace Prize last year, and it works in 80 countries. And yes, that includes the United States of America. So
there's food insecurities here.
Yes.
Like even in the schools, there's some children that during the pandemic don't have a regular meal because going to school was the only lunch or breakfast they would get.
Mm-hmm.
You see, so there's food security even here. A lot of people go, oh, you're in the US, blah, 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 blah. No! There's food insecurity here. Hi, Clarice. Good afternoon to the two wonderful women. You see the comments in the drop. Hey, Clarice. Yeah, Clarice could definitely join us. You want to join us about the Sustainable Development Goal, Clarice? Just let me know and I'll pop you in.
That's the warrior right there. That's the warrior in Sustainable Development Goals right there. She's a warrior for women. So proud of her. That's another change agent. So proud of her.
That's right. Now that's the ultimate change maker. That's a legacy, yes?
Yes. Oh, wait a minute. Let's start talking French. Bonjour, ça va, mademoiselle? Did I do good?
I don't know what you're talking about. Bonjour, comment allez-vous? Oui, ça va?
Comment allez-vous? Oui.
See, I have to tip my head when I speak French. Bonjour. What's the other one? Oh, je m'appelle Lady B. Bless. J'appuie français en petit.
En petit. En petit. I love to say enchanté. Enchanté. Enchanté.
I remember I was in a group with Clarice one time, and she was like, I said, Clarice, I don't know the French. Lady B, you should learn. I'm like, oh, okay.
Ça va. I'm comme ci, comme ça. Ça va. I was going to say comme ci, comme ça, ça va et toi. You know, because I haven't had enough hours of sleep. I've been working hard, Clarice. This Women's History Month, International Women's Day was this week. So I've been going for it. I'm hyped up, and I have not had coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I'm hyped up and sleep deprived. So come see, come saw.
That's it for me. If you want to join us, Clarice, let me know and I'll send you the link. We only have like about a good 5-10 minutes left. So if you want to pop in to the studio, let me know. No, Truman, I do not speak French. I only speak it in my imagination. And then I open my mouth and the words come out. Yeah. Yeah. In a group, it's like French, like what? Okay, da 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 da. There's Eric. I don't know did you remember Eric? You know Eric from
Eric, yeah, with Marie Rose.
Yes.
Eric
He's
Young.
calling. Yes. Eric wants to interview me.
Okay.
And I'm like, Eric, I don't know French. So I don't know how it's gonna work because it's English. He's like, oh, I need to practice my English. I'm like, and you want me to go French, right? I would definitely have that Google translation, like Rose from 90 Day Fiance. I will talk you to it and then put it up to the phone like
that
this.
That was hilarious. Okay, get back.
But guys,
get back.
It's all about the SDGs, yes. Oh, every now and then you have to pop here, pop there.
Je parle français un peu.
I don't know. Yeah, I'll be don't test my knowledge. I'll test it.
We
start coming. Yeah, exactly. Jambone. Don't ask me anything about the SDGs. Don't ask me about French. They do have it published in French also. So if anyone here that do speak French, we could get you the literature and everything in French. It's in every international language.
Yes. All languages.
In all.
Arabic. Yes.
Yes. It's in all the languages. So we're going to have fun. We're going to be here. It's going to be an hour. We're going to impart as much information as possible. We're going to take all your questions. These classes will be uploaded to the podcast so you can listen to them over and over again with the fabulous Lady B Bless and the fabulous Lady T Thompson. You see how it rings, how it just rings off the mouth? Yeah. So definitely we are ready. We are ready for you. Are you ready?
Yes, darling. I'm ready.
T Thompson is ready. And she's always ready, but can I share that she wasn't ready for a pre-kindergarten class this week? I just want to put that out there.
This is a true story.
This is
a true story.
And let me tell you, she's a warrior. She's an ironclad. We're like Margaret Thatcher. But tell the story.
The first graders? Oh no, I had to read to a first grade class and I was given some specific instructions about what to do, what not to do, what to look like, how to act, and most importantly,
how old was this first grader?
This first grader is 6 or 7, I'm not even sure. And I was told to do my best. Like the pressure's on, do your best. And so as I went to go and I read this book, and it was both an in-session group of kids as well as kids who were on session with Zoom. And so as I was talking about, what do I talk about? Agriculture and food. I was telling them where food really comes from. They were giving me their commentary, and I made the mistake, and I do mean this mistake. I was talking about cocoa or cacao and was saying that, yes, who likes chocolate chip cookies? And this one little kid, he was like, doesn't everybody like chocolate chip cookies? Like, I was stupid. Like, I had
like, what type of question is that?
Whatsoever to be asking them about chocolate chip cookies. So, yes, the pressure was on with the first graders. But
she survived.
She
survived. She survived. I mean, she came out unhinged. Afterward, I'm like, are you good? Are you good? You okay? She's like, I survived the first graders.
I survived. And I'm going back. I'm going back on Monday to the pre-K.
She's going back. She's going back again. But that's things like that we could do during the pandemic. Read to the kids, read to a class, they need this. So I really commend her for going to that battle room and surviving. Survive the battle.
Can't wait to talk about the SDGs.
Yes. So next, week after next, I think the first week in April, We'll be back. We're both traveling. So, yeah, we'll be back. But we'll put the flyers up. We'll make sure that the flyers up. Shout out to my PR, my public relations. Truman, big up yourself. Everything that you do is on point. You make Lady B Blessed look like Lady B Blessed. That's my PR people. If you're interested in PR work, let me know. Let me know. I got the best PR in the business coming out of Zimbabwe. Zimbabwe. This is what I call, yes, international business. And not only that, sustainable employment for the youths, which is part of the Sustainable Development Goal. So when you see young people are trying,
that goal, hey, decent work, economic growth, because
exactly,
again, trade contributes to delivering the Sustainable Development Goals. You're doing it. You're doing it right now.
Yes, yes. Employ the young people. Yes, it's challenging working with young people, but it's better to train them in the right way of business so it's sustainable. So 4 or 5 years from now, they would be growing, right? You could hire anyone to do it, but employ the young people, especially in the continent, especially because now they have internet and they could work for you. They could do paper, they could write books, they could do your email, just the small things. Put money in the continent. Give the youth something to do, I beg. They're rioting, they're in the streets, there's drugs, there's alcohol everywhere. But if you give them something to do, if it's only $30, $40, $50 a month, it is still something to keep our youths employed and give them a sense of belonging, right? Sustainable development goals. We have to be sustainable. We have to have our youths to be sustainable too. And that's my 2 cents. I'm Lady B Blessed, and I'm finished talking.
Yes, yes. This is Lady T. Thompson, and I would like for everyone to know and be the first to hear officially. I'm going to announce it that Agribiz, yes, Agribiz, we're going to give out 20 scholarships to youth, and they are youth on the continent of Africa that are 25 and under. So
I just missed it by a year.
Yeah. That are dedicated to either creating food cooperatives or food hubs or who are in farming. So yes, the details of that, we will be launching it next week. And also, wait a minute, Lady B, did you tell everybody that you're on Clubhouse? Oh my gosh, Lady B Blessed is on Clubhouse.
No, well, I think no, I don't know. I'm on Clubhouse.
Yes, darling.
And I have invites, so if anyone wants invite, I think I have like 6 invites just sitting there, just waiting for the right people at the right time.
Yes, yes, for sure. Well, listen, this is fantastic. What have we left out anything or?
No, I don't think we left out anything. We just let them know we'll be back in April. This is just a warm up. We are warming you up
to educate, mobilize, and inspire other people to get engaged as stakeholders with the Sustainable Development Goals, the 2030 Agenda, or Global Goals. All the same thing, or SDGs.
All of the same thing.
All the same.
Am I bright enough? Or am I dark? Is it bright enough in my studio?
I love my chocolate, honey. I mean, yeah.
No, not.
Yeah. Let's be clear.
I'm not playing with you.
You look lovely. You have on your pearls? Oh my God.
Yeah, no, I meant the light. I meant the light. The light.
I see you, honey. I see you.
Okay, good. It's just I stepped on my webcam and I broke it, so this is a new webcam.
Okay. I see you, Chris, back. I see you. Okay, in your living room, girl. Get it. Well, I'm in the guest suite right now because
yes, I'm in the presidential living room.
Okay. Yes.
So and come and sit on the sofa.
Okay.
All right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, you know what? This has been fun. It's been nice. We're gonna do this again coming in April. We're gonna continue doing this until the end of the year. We want to spread as many possible words. I want to spread as many what? I lost my thought.
We want We want to gain as many stakeholders into the Sustainable Development Goals. And most importantly, let's tell everyone where they can find us. So my name is Lady T. Thompson. I am at agrobiz.org, agrobiz.org. You can follow Agribiz on Instagram, on the gram at Agribiz World, BIZ World. And I'm on Clubhouse too, as Lady T. Thompson and Agribiz World. And so, turning it back over to you, Lady B. Where can people find you?
At my house.
I can't.
Where you at my house? I am www.IamLadyBblessed.com. 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 On all social media, Clubhouse, Instagram, Twitter, and Social Africa.
Oh, yes. Are they on? Hi, Social Africa people.
My Otis, fine brother, fine educated medical doctor, doing wonderful things with Social Africa. If you guys have not joined Social Africa yet, shame on you. Social Africa, I am Lady B Blessed. So give me a friend. I think about 20 or 30 of my people have already joined Social Africa. Use my link, please. So I get the points. It's all about the points of Social Africa. But it's a home for us. It's Facebook for Africans, and I love it. If you're on Clubhouse, T. Thompson is Agribiz Group, and I am the Global Progressive Women Group on Clubhouse.
The Global Progressive Women Group too.
Yes. We're all in the group. The website is coming for everyone to register for the Global Progressive Women. They're working on the website. We're going to really try to launch it during this month so everyone can start registering.
Oh, all your information is on this tickler that's going across. Oh, I see it. All of your information is. I just noticed the tickler. Wait a minute. Okay, am I on the tickler too? Let's see.
Oh, no, you're not on the tickler. You want a tickler? I see that. Look cool. Here, I ticked you at the beginning. See, special guest Lady T. Thompson.
Okay. Oh, okay.
You have to get on. And this is where you guys can listen. You can listen to this podcast on my podcast page, which is podpage.com/I am Lady B Blessed. That is my main podcast hub. If you guys go, you can see this video as well as listen to the audio. So please support. Even if it's just sharing this, just support. It doesn't cost anything to share. How can you support me? Share this live. How can you support me? Click the link and listen for 5 to 10 minutes. That's it. Listen to the shows. You don't even have to like just let it run. Walk away. Listen. That's it.
Listen. Well,
that's how you guys can support me.
You
ready to go? Yes.
Okay, do we count down like we're on Clubhouse? Okay, this room is going to close.
It's sponsored by the Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation. Since she has her Agribiz, I have to bring out my mug. The Lady Be Blessed Humanitarian Foundation.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4.
Are they counting now for real?
3, 2, 1. Yay! This week is
bye.
It happens to everyone. Waiting in line for your morning coffee, you scroll social media and news on your phone. What you find depresses you. Thousands of migrants are fleeing a civil war, risking their lives only to be turned back at borders. Speculations have sent the housing markets into a frenzy, and employment numbers are tumbling down. Journalists have uncovered a decades-long cover-up of child abuse by coaches and doctors within competitive gymnastics in your country. Closing the news app, you open your family group chat. Maybe one of your siblings has posted something funny, and at this rate, you could use some cheering up. The group chat has blown up overnight, and what you see makes your heart sink. Bushfires are raging again, and there's one burning only 2 suburbs over from where your cousins live. Everyone is frantic with worry. At this point, you walk away, coffee in hand, tense, miserable, and confused. You think, this can't go on. Something needs to be done. Someone needs to step up. We need a plan to fix all this social injustice, economic chaos, and environmental destruction. This is where the Sustainable Development Goals, or SDGs, come in. Fixing the kinds of problems that bring your entire day down in the morning coffee line can't happen in just one way. The SDGs cover sustainability from different angles: socially, economically, and environmentally. They set global goals for the 3 Ps: people, planet, and prosperity. The SDGs form the heart of the 2030 Agenda, an action plan adopted by all 193 countries of the United Nations. They call for decent jobs, quality education, good health, gender and income equality, clean energy and water, biodiversity, and climate action. They aim to reach sustainable development by 2030. Governments play a key role in achieving these goals, but they're not the only players. Businesses, civil society, Indigenous leaders, academia, and the general public all contribute as well. You might wonder where they came from. The SDGs were born in 2012 at the Rio+20, a UN conference on sustainable development in Rio de Janeiro, which was the largest conference ever held by the UN. Until 2012, there were different international agreements that dealt with environmental challenges such as climate change and biodiversity loss. And there were the Millennium Development Goals, MDGs, that aimed to achieve certain social targets in developing countries by the year 2015. The countries meeting at Rio+20 decided that a more comprehensive set of universal goals was needed to tackle the urgent social, economic, and environmental challenges facing the world. This kicked off the broadest consultation ever run by the UN. An unprecedented effort was made to get input from as many people as possible, particularly those who don't often get a say in international agreements. Over 10 million people around the world participated in the consultations and helped shape the SDGs. Apart from national governments, major stakeholder groups that were consulted included women, children and youth, Indigenous peoples, NGOs, local authorities, workers and trade unions, business and industry, scientific and technological community, and farmers. I am pleased to share some good news for people and planet, UN Secretary-General Ban Ki-moon said to a packed room of press delegates. The good news? After 3 years of negotiations and debate, 193 countries had agreed to a set of development goals more bold and ambitious than anything that has come before them, the SDGs. The due date for the SDGs is the year 2030, which makes the 2020s the decade to deliver. But how can we know if progress on any of these monumental issues has been made? The 17 SDGs are built on an evidence-based framework of 169 quantitative targets and 232 indicators that accompany them. This ensures that the SDGs are clear, concise, time-bound, and measurable, which helps governments and decision-makers to include the SDGs in their planning. This means that we can keep track on each of the SDGs' progress. To achieve the SDGs, all countries are expected to set up policies and investment plans, and to use the targets and indicators to track their progress. They then report their progress to the UN. This is done through voluntary national reviews, VNRs, with a selection of countries reporting each year. Most countries, including Australia, have already submitted their first VNR. Governments are crucial in achieving the SDGs because they create and finance policies that support the goals. But all stakeholders have an important role to play. Industries and businesses in finding solutions for goods and services that align with the SDGs, and communities and individuals in supporting SDG initiatives and in holding governments and the private sector to account. Education, research, and innovation are all essential to achieve the SDGs, so universities, with their ability to create and disseminate knowledge and solutions, play an absolutely vital role. You can probably already tell that reaching the SDGs will be no small feat. All responses, from the global to the national to the local, even down to the individual, need to be coherent and aligned. But progress to date has been slow. so that it becomes very clear now that a much deeper, faster, and more ambitious response is needed from governments, businesses, and communities. Many experts say that in order to achieve the SDGs, we need societal transformations now that are unprecedented in human history and which represent a profound departure from business as usual. You may feel like the challenges are too big and too many. After all, you're just one person. But think about it this way. Every time you spend money, you have an opportunity to spend your money better. Every time you talk to someone, you have an opportunity to challenge their ideas for the better. You can seize these opportunities every day, 365 days a year. And of course, every couple of years, you have the opportunity to vote for the better. Not just in national elections, but in local ones too. That is an immense potential that lies with you and every other individual. The SDGs give us a roadmap for making the right choices and arriving at the right answers. Don't forget, together, we are 7.8 billion people. Together, we can make big changes happen.